Let's start recording episode 141.
141.
Do you want to do the intro?
It's my old door number.
Episode 141.
Coincidence? Oh my god! Is that a sign?
Right, let's do it.
Who's introing?
I've never done the intro.
I know. I just thought I'd see.
What do I say again?
Just try it for once.
Hi everyone, welcome to TVI episode 141. We have
Donnelly.
And we have as guest.
Jenny Collier.
Welcome, how you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Good. Was that a good intro?
That was good, actually. Considering you've never done it before.
Yeah, very
You said, what do I say? Literally, you've listened to 140 other ones. I just never listen.
Julian, your nipples are so pronounced in that.
They are, aren't they?
They are ridiculous.
Let's begin on this, because Jenny, we just did a Patreon thing before this, and we were talking about clothing tightness.
Right.
Julian was saying he much prefers fitted clothing. And I said that's obviously because he's got a good physique. But where do you stand on how tight this t-shirt is?
It is quite tight, isn't it? And now that you've mentioned the nipples,
You can't unwatch it.
No, it's like
You're making them all self-conscious. They are. You've got very small. You've got little nipples, haven't you? I've got big nipples.
Have
you know
you?
this about me? Have I told any of you?
Oh, maybe you did a bit about it.
I did a bit about it. I
used to wear jackets.
I've got a thing called Gynocomastia, which is a hormone imbalance.
Okay.
One of the weird side effects is I've got very
You could fix
large
that
nipples.
though.
I don't need to fix it.
No.
Yeah, I'm not going to become an underwear model. It's totally unnecessary. It used to cause me a lot of insecurities when I was in my
teens. But there's no
teens.
problem with it apart from that.
But is
Not at all.
gynocomastia? I'm just looking it up.
Basically puffy nipples, mate.
Small penis.
Yeah, it makes me look like all those that guy in the top right, that ripped up guy with a
He looks like he's
on
got
his
no
chest.
arms.
So embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing. I just hate being that ripped.
obliques.
No, but yeah, in most teenage boys who get it, basically you have puffy nipples. So I used to hate doing any sort of public nudity, which wasn't common. But in terms of like going swimming, I hated going swimming and stuff like that.
Well, so going through puberty, it started.
It starts during puberty,
Yeah.
and some people at the end of puberty
You're
it
getting
just goes away.
testosterone boosted into you.
Yeah, but it's like I think
By
it's
your
like,
PE teacher.
but some people have it for life. Some people when they get to sort of end of their teens and
They die of it.
it's sort of
They're bullied to death because of that.
mine is I have a lifelong
behind
case.
the bike sheds.
I've got a lifelong case, so I still have slightly puffy nipples, but they just that don't bother me at all.
If it doesn't bother you, that's cool, innit?
Exactly.
You can get you can get like hormone replacement and stuff like
I just
that.
don't want to take any of that stuff.
No.
yeah.
How did we get on? We were talking about the little nipples.
Yeah.
Have you got anything?
I've got gigantic nipples, and I've got stuff in my set about having small baps. And
Yeah.
so gigantic nipples is like
Just two nipples.
even worse. Yeah, yeah.
Not- and I don't want to get too it personal, but when you say massive
Show us.
nipples,
Let's cut that out.
they're so big you
I've
could do
got
face
Tourette's.
swap.
Bring up the photo Jenny sent. I should got it. No, when you say massive,
Yeah.
do you mean protruding or do you mean diameter?
Both.
Like,
Right, really?
Yeah, they're gigantic. You could do
The
face
big-
swap with it.
big
You could do face
cricket,
swap app.
cricket balls.
Yeah.
Maybe they're your breasts.
I've got
Your breasts
stuff
are
up,
just
but I
red.
don't think we're going to be able to show this.
What? What have you found? Oh, no, don't.
No, okay, fine. Sorry.
I was
What
walking
have you
past a
found?
sex shop once with Larry Deane, and he pointed at this woman with nipple tassels, and he was like, "Oh my god, imagine if your nipples are that big." And I was like, "Yeah, imagine," because they're huge.
It is a funny thing
got
that
a huge
they're
dick.
there's no... God.
I haven't. Don't want anyone writing in.
It is weird that they are all different, isn't it?
Yes.
There's no uniformity to a nipple, is there? Everyone is different.
I
But
wasn't going to talk about that today, but here we are.
I know. I
You didn't
mean,
plan to say that.
none of us were talking to plan this, and then Julian pulled his top off, and we see this.
I had a very baggy hoodie on for our patron catcher.
You did. You saved this for the public. Patrons get you in your sort of your casual, your mufti.
I mean, it is
gear.
uncomfortable, yeah.
What
That's
is?
this top?
Is it really? I thought you said you like it.
I do like it, but like,
What do you mean? Is it physically?
No, not physically. Just now because you talked about it.
Oh, sorry.
Don't feel self-conscious. I've got chubby nipples, mate, and I'm not self-conscious. You can sort of see actually because it's quite. No, I don't. Cause it's quite warm in here now.
Do you think they're more chubby to you though? If you had your top off, they don't notice that.
There's a tiny bit. Look, they're very puffy. Everyone.
I only get one come out and say hi at once, though. It's hard to get them
This one is
synchronised.
currently more puffy than this one is, but it's purely temperature
But they're
dependent.
cosy to like lay on.
That's the main thing, isn't it? Anyway, welcome to the podcast, Jenny Collier.
Thanks for having me.
Fucking hell, man! What have we started chatting about?
So you were working.
Start recording now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were working in a doctor's surgery over lockdown.
I was, yeah.
And was that? We spoke about that, didn't we?
We spoke it when you. I think we talked to you when you were
When I was-
doing it.
Yeah, it was a Zoom one, wasn't it?
Yeah, because we were talking about sort of the fact that you've gone and done that during COVID, but now you're back not doing that.
Yeah.
Is it good to not be doing
Oh
a
my
day job
God.
again?
It was really nice to be helping, but it's even nicer to stop helping.
Yeah.
And now, I quit in June and it's been real good.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this idea that work matters, or this idea that you've got to just work every day of your life and like it gives you some purpose is absolute horse shit. I've worked that out. Like I read a thing, and I saw it was an argument. I don't know how I ended up reading it. It was about sex work, right? And one of the people that was sort of dead
You
against
do that every day. Though.
It's not work if you love it, mate. But it was one of the arguments from the people saying it should never be legalised. Was they said, well, all you've got to do is to
9 to 5.
look at it, saying no one would be doing that if they didn't have to do it. And I was like, that's every job, isn't it? Technically, every
Yeah,
job,
yeah.
somebody's doing it because they can't not do a job. So I think it was one of the strangest arguments. It made, I think ultimately we're in a very lucky group of people that don't really have a job.
Yeah.
And even then, we were talking before we started recording earlier on about how we love a cancelled gig.
Yeah, yeah.
And we do something we love. And even now and again, something gets cancelled and you're like, yeah, but...
My New Year's Eve did, and I was like, even though you're taking the money hit, aren't you? It's like,
I've just had
get a night off.
I just had a gig cancelled for the last Saturday of this month that was good, decent money, but it was in Barnsley on a Saturday night. So it's a big old
long
drive.
Drive, yeah.
And like that got cancelled, and they're like, really sorry, we're gonna have to cancel it. The venue have pulled the night, and my first response was fucking yes.
What, on the phone?
You feel like you won the lottery.
Venue's burnt down. Yes. No, but sort of how do you feel about a cancelled bit of work?
Same.
Love it.
Great, and great if they pay as well.
I mean,
That's-
the cancellation fee is the holy
That's
grail.
the perfect
Yeah.
job.
I don't know if I've told it on here. I once had a corporate cancel. Not basically. Do you remember when we had the Beast from the East storm?
Oh yeah.
I was doing a corporate that week, and on the week they decided to postpone because they were like, even though everyone could get there, they were like, we just don't want to tell people to travel during this weather. And it was people who were coming from different offices to this central office, and they said, look, can we book you in to do it again in 3 months, and we will pay you in full for the cancellation. So I got paid a
Double money.
corporate fee to not gig that night, and then I got the same corporate fee to do the gig 3 months later.
Oh my God.
It's the most I've ever been paid to
Perfect.
stay at home. Oh, it's
I
unbelievable.
want gigs
Dreamy.
like that, mate.
Yeah.
Just doing rain dances every time you get a corporate. Just hoping that Beast from the East comes back.
The corporate as
Exactly.
well, getting a cancelled corporate and getting paid because they're the toughest gigs.
Yeah.
Do you do many corporates?
I don't. I did one at Christmas.
You did one the other day
Did I?
before Cambridge. I saw you in Cambridge.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I did do it, but would you call it a corporate? It was a Christmas do in a pub.
Ah.
And
Just one group of Christmas people?
one group of Christmas cunts.
Oh God.
Oh,
Hang on,
my
so
Lord.
give us the setting, please, because I think...
I can't wait to give you the setting. So, a little village near Epping Forest.
Right.
Took about 3 hours to drive there
Oh, God.
from southwest London, and had a meal beforehand.
Nice. Not
So-
with them.
In the same room as them, but not with
I
them.
prefer not.
No, I would prefer to starve to death than me with the
sandwiches in
people I'm
the
about to
green room,
perform
yeah.
to.
Yeah, foolishly maybe I had a bunch of really hot wings,
Yes.
and then and the staff were a bit kind of. I was just all jolly and like, oh, this will probably be all right. Actually, it's just a pub. It's just a gig. It's
Yeah.
going to be fine. But the staff were kind of looking at me like, why would you be smiling? Like, Why would you not be absolutely shitting your drawers? And so I found that a bit strange, but I was like, I'm sure it'll be fine. And then the sound man went up to the front, and he was about to announce me, but there was nowhere to come on from. So I just sat kind of near the sound booth, and there was a table full of for folk who were about to watch, and I don't know how to describe them other than
Cunts.
Yeah. They're the sort of people who've never in their entire life laughed at themselves.
Oh no!
And they were looking at me like, "Why on earth are you sitting near us?" And I leaned out. I was just like, there's no wings to come on from showbiz or something, and just like said something just off the like. Light-hearted, and they looked at me like I just curled one out on the carpet.
They don't know what you mean, probably. Yeah.
And
then I go up and I start to try and begin the gig, just starts.
That's the worst, because if it's hard enough gig already and the technical shit starts going.
And they looked at me like they were so certain it was my fault.
Well, that's it. They always think, oh, well, there must be shit if their mic's not working. What are you talking about? It's not me.
The sound man.
Yeah.
Was it a radio mic?
Yeah.
Of course. It was.
And then I said, oh, the mic's not working to the sound guy that was just at the side, and somebody shouted, "Thank God for that!" And so that's before I've even started the show. And then,
arguably quite a good heckle, like on a technical term.
It's not the worst.
It's not the worst. Like at least it works as a joke.
They're in the room.
Yeah. You know, they're paying
it's just
attention.
a bit mean, isn't it? Like,
it's horrible. Yeah, I'm not justifying. I'm just saying, actually, compared to
why don't you just be best friends with him?
We get him on next week.
It actually was Carl.
I used to like Tim Vine, but there's this guy who heckles in Epping Forest.
He's just so funny. But compared to some of the dross you hear with heckles, at least that makes sense. Is what I'm sort of supposed to say.
Yeah.
But then, and what then happened? How long did you do on stage?
I did 31 minutes, 45
Oh my
seconds.
God.
How long were you booked for? 30?
30,
She went over.
Yeah.
Was it just you?
It was me and then Jack Campbell.
How come you went over?
Because
I just don't relate at all. I'd have done 12.
He doesn't go over if he's killing.
Yeah.
I went over because the last story that I have, I had started, and then at one point I was like, I don't even know if I should like carry on. There were some people like, carry on.
Mastermind rules.
Some people were on board, but I generally absolutely poached
Probably
eggs.
Jack Barry. Carry on. Trespass into my time.
Who was it? Jack Campbell.
Campbell.
And did you stay to see any of
I
Jack?
didn't. I troused it up to Cambridge.
Yeah.
And did a gig there, which was a nice palate cleanser.
It's always a funny
one.
one.
Nice gig, wasn't it?
It's a tough gig. Like that, I know it's that part of you always wants to watch the other acts to see, like, was it?
Oh yeah, I really wanted him to die.
At least you weren't alone. Did he go on before you?
He went on after me because I had to double. And then so as I left Cambridge, I then called Jack and we debriefed for the entire journey home.
And how did he have a similar?
No, because he went round and called them all cunts and just like did individual little roasts of all of them.
And they loved it.
They absolutely dug it. Yeah.
He might have died as well, though, and just
lying. They all just shouted that at him.
He didn't even go on. I remember doing a gig once. The opening act died so hard they cancelled the gig.
I hit my head on the thing like I said I would.
I was on in the middle and I was hearing them in the toilet talk about it, and he was crap, and they hated him.
Who was it?
I won't name him.
Can you write it down?
I'll name him on Patreon.
I can bleep it.
You bring him up.
I mean, I'll bleep. I need to. I might forget to bleep that.
The timestamp. 1830.
I don't know if he knew it got cancelled because he went.
Right.
Obviously, there's a break, and then me, I was really new. I was doing like 10 in the middle.
Can you remind me to bleep that?
I'll text
Yeah.
Please, you text me now because I will forget. Do you remember last time I forgot to bleep a name?
Oh, yeah.
And it went out.
I want you out.
I uploaded the podcast, went out, and then just basically got a message from a couple of listeners going, you said you were going to bleep something, you didn't, you left the name in, and I had to basically on my phone delete the podcast from everywhere online and then go and address the situation.
I can't wait to hear who that was. Can you say who it is and then we'll bleep it out?
I can't remember who it was now.
We had Andrew Ryan on the podcast.
Yeah.
So I don't know who the.
I can't remember either. But anyway, it was a bit of fun. I will remember to bleep that. I mean, that's. I don't think that person does stand up anymore, do they?
I can't remember who it was.
You just said the name. Oh no, I'm talking about the person you.
Oh,
just named.
I know. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Oh, does he? Okay.
So I see him on Facebook. I never really knew him.
He wasn't doing it the last time I saw his set. No joke.
This was like 10 years ago.
I can't believe they cancelled the whole gig because he died so hard.
And I didn't get to go on. And
Did you get paid?
No, I was unpaid anyway. I was new, but I was just so glad.
The venue were like, we're not going to be a pub anymore.
Yeah.
We all just
Sorry,
need
guys.
to
The funeral parlour
Taking
now.
the signs down as he's on. It was funny because he did that thing where he did his best joke and he went, right, that was my banker.
Oh God, I hate. That's one of my things. My pet hates of comedy is when, and it's normally newer acts who are guilty of it. They do something that doesn't get much. They'll be like, well, I'll get more. It's like, well, fucking, you thought wrong, dickhead.
Yeah.
Like, don't commentate on how,
The audience don't know. Just carry on.
That's what I did for half an hour in Epping Forest, actually. So.
Guys, actually, that deserved more. That deserved more, guys.
That was your catchphrase. That deserved more much.
Oh God.
Oh God. The bits where I referred to how badly it was going were the bits that went best.
That's often the case.
It's a tension breaker, I guess.
Yeah, that's often the case
when
with
it
corporates,
works.
isn't it? I find that sometimes
31 minutes, that's a long time to be suffering.
Yeah,
I
but I
was
listened back to
sweating.
the recording because I recorded the audio, and
Why?
I think I've got something quite badly wrong with me because I sound
For listening
really
to
jolly.
Oh really?
it, and listening to it back.
I didn't
you've
listen
got
to the whole
something wrong
thing.
with
I
you.
didn't listen
But
to the
you
whole
got. I
thing.
mean, that is that sort of survival instinct. I died at a corporate in December. No, not December. Probably November or something.
On Zoom.
No, real life. And
You could smell. They could smell you.
mate, it was like I ruined their lunch essentially, and it was one of them ones where like. I managed to smile
You were
my
the
way
chef
through
as
it.
well.
At no point did I sort of go like, "This is really hard,"
Yeah.
But I wanted to. But I just kept my smiles. Hey guys, you've been great, guys. Have a great day. You've had your lunch, bit of fun. Hope the awards go well. And then like, take it easy. And that moment you turn and they don't see you. You go like.
Questioning your watery eyes as you walk off the wings.
It's so you're just done. But
I
it's
bombed
all
in
about,
Edinburgh once, man, and I just felt with the first, in the first 2 minutes you just know.
Oh God, man, that's
And I
so
was
bad.
like, and like I just felt a bit of sweat just drip down my spine.
It's out of body shit, man. I felt during that corporate. Like, there was
just
times
can't
when
get-
I was getting titters.
Yeah.
But it was the worst gig I've had in memory.
Yeah.
Like, sort of. And it was like watching myself from above.
Yes.
I was just there watching me just talk.
Even you're not laughing at you.
Talking to the other ghosts going, this goes shit. It's hard, man. And it's funny that they will never know that they think you're so in the moment and just like, guys, whatever. And they're probably thinking, this guy's a bit shit, but he's trying.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even present. I was gone, man. I'd ascended.
Autopilot.
It is, isn't it? You just switch off.
You're back up with your higher self.
Yeah.
Looking
It's
down.
fucking brutal, man. People did not realise what is going on in the head is not always what is on display.
Yeah.
But then you had it a good way around if you then went to do a nice gig.
Yeah.
That's the dream. Bad gig, nice gig.
Yeah.
I did it after that corporate. I went and did
Cambridge
Top
Junction's
Secret,
lovely,
I think.
Top Secret's like a palate
Oh
cleanser.
man, you feel it's such an ego boost, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Walk on, you could do any old shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And all that.
Start booking Wembley on the way home.
But anyway, did you do many Christmas gigs? I didn't. We had COVID during December, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
So
I did a Zoom actually with COVID.
Yeah, I did a couple as well. I didn't mention
sweating
it.
up.
I thought it'd be weird to mention it, even though I'm literally.
didn't
I
mention
couldn't
it
be
either.
further away from them. They're all in their own homes. But I felt like it'd be weird me going, "Hey guys, I've got COVID." But so I missed out on all the Christmas sort of live gigs. I only had a few. That I, had
I
to
lost
cancel.
a lot, man, that week. I was a little bit relieved.
But from what I gather, I don't know if you, as somebody who didn't get COVID during December, most people told me that the gigs weren't as cunty as some years.
Well, the Epping Forest one for me just overshadowed everything I've ever done.
Ruined Christmas.
Yeah, ruined Christmas, ruined 2021.
Yeah.
And two.
And two, yeah, I'm still waiting to be paid.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
How long ago now? Is it over 30 days?
Not yet, no.
Was it an agent one?
Not through my agent, no.
Oh.
Sort of travel agent.
What was
For
the
a
company?
secret agent.
What was the company that you were gigging for?
I don't know if I should say.
No.
Well, no, as in like the.
Get them up on the screen, please.
Right, we're going to write an email now.
we
Let's
can
go
bleep
to the
it out.
board of directors.
Jamie, bring it up.
Yeah, probably wait till you get paid actually first.
Yeah.
It's yes, that's the word.
Corporate should pay half first. A lot of them do.
I wish that I had asked for the money beforehand.
Well,
I did some
luckily,
sweet corporate Zoom gigs, man.
Yeah,
They were
they're
just
the
best.
juicy.
Oh my god, the best, because then you're in your house.
Shut the laptop. They were nice as well because they're separated.
Yeah.
So it's easier.
Our agent, we've got the same agent. They normally have a pay full up front corporate policy.
Yeah.
Which
They don't mess around, do they?
I
with
know, mate. It's
corporates?
such a good thing. It's like that gig I did, I would argue I should not have been paid. But I got it all up front, man. That money was in my bank like a week after the gig. I knew agents already had it in their account. So I'm sort of all right, fucked up from dying on stage.
Also,
but knowing that the money is there.
the corporates that I did as well, it was like 2 acts and a compere.
Yeah,
So
they're the dream.
It's just a comedy club.
The Epping Forest one didn't have an MC either.
That's bad.
So that's the real, Oh, and the bar was meant to be closed, and it was noisy and open the whole time.
So annoying.
Yeah.
It's annoying me now.
I mean, I
Not
think
even there.
the loneliest is when it's just you.
Yeah.
And there's not even another act.
What?
Oh.
Just one act.
Just
Yeah.
that's what the one I did. I was the only act at this one, and like I was just announced by like a guy. You know what I mean? It's just like, right, everyone is got a comedian coming on now, and
It's
How
even
long
better-
did you have to do?
I had to do
4 hours.
25, I think it was,
All right.
and
Did you hit the
did about
26?
did about an hour and a half's worth of material in that time.
Just sped it up.
Literally not leaving a single gap for a heckle, man.
Was that what you were doing? Yeah, just
I definitely rattled through. In my head, in my 25, I looked at my 25-minute set and it's like, right, it's about 4 bits because normally I'd drag them out. And like it would be that set, that 25-minute set. If I tried to do it at Top Secret, I'd get through 3 bits.
Yeah.
And like I did all those and the little star asterisk bits I'd written as emergencies, like proper.
and you hit your
rattle.
time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I'll always do my time. I'm pretty good
pro.
at that. Yeah. I've only ever walked off early at one gig, I think.
How
I
come?
can think of dying. that was a rough Christmas gig.
You started to get a rigor mortis.
I remember dying so hard.
Someone come up and just did that.
A priest.
Nobody please don't know that.
Pull the shield. There's a queue. Someone just like it's not going as well as I thought.
But I remember Paul McCaffrey once sent me such a funny text. I died at Jongleurs. Did you ever do Jongleurs Sway?
No.
Oh, I went there and watched one. So I was like, I never want to do this in my life.
It was next level.
Everyone was doing like
Was it
8 minutes.
upstairs its way?
So it was
Both.
upstairs and downstairs. So you used to go on stage downstairs and come and die upstairs. Because the downstairs one was always a bit better. It could still be fucking hard, but they weren't all sitting there eating their dinner like.
It's a better room.
It was a better room,
Is
but
it in Soho?
it's in Covent Garden. It's just
towards Holborn.
yeah. So you come out of Drury. If you go on Drury Lane and you go down that road to Holborn, it's there, and it was brutal. Like so many people not really looking at the stage and stuff. And I died about a week. No, I died and then went over to another gig and walked in and Tom Wrigglesworth was there and I went, mate, I've just fucking died at Sway upstairs. And he luckily cheered me up by going, mate, I died in both rooms. He got booed off. I essentially
after the other.
I essentially got booed off, right, about 10 minutes in. Because I sort of turned on him and all that. And then he told me he got booed off the week before in both rooms, which cheered me up.
Fucking booed off up there. You're up there early. You're early for your gig.
But I remember about a month after that, Paul McCaffrey just sent such a funny message. I think I'd told him about my death, and I'd forgotten about it, and I just got a text at like 9 p.m. on a Friday, just from Paul saying, "Hey mate, if you haven't got a coroner's number of you, I need a corpse picked up from Sway in Covent Garden. Time of death 8:55." So funny, man. Oh,
My favourite jungler story, Barry Dodds. Do you know his one?
No.
He had a corporate for like Christmas. No, not Christmas. It was a work do for a load of old doctors.
work dues. Sorry. Currently, all the news, isn't it, about work dues?
Oh my God, when we stop recording, do you think we'll find out that Boris has quit?
Oh, maybe. Is there any news on Boris? Can we have a live, quick update on has Boris Johnson quit? And then we'll get into the Barry Dodds Jongler's story. It'd be exciting if he'd
Is
quit.
he actually likely to quit? I've not been following it.
I think it's going to happen. I don't know if it'll happen today, but it's basically just every time he sort of tries to bat it away, new allegations come out. So
What about the party?
yeah, there's like literally. So yesterday or the day before, he had to apologise for the fact that he went to a garden party at 10 Downing Street, and that everyone was still calling for him to quit. And some people will try and say, "No, he's apologised." And then yesterday, it came out there was like fucking basement parties with music and stuff at 10 Downing Street.
An apology never.
And they also
stops.
apologised to the Queen today.
Oh, because it was the night before Prince Philip's funeral. So with that famous photo of the Queen on her own because she couldn't sit with anyone, mourning her husband, and then literally the night before there was a party in 10 Downing Street. That could be the end, isn't it?
I think that's probably the end.
I mean, she was with a photographer, wasn't she, obviously?
Well, I mean, he was, but the photographer was far away.
Oh.
I think you forget how resilient Boris Johnson. He will not step down.
I mean, but it comes a point where he doesn't have the option. It's not up to him. It's up to the party, isn't it?
Yeah.
He'll have advisors, won't he?
But so anyway, so he's not. We currently
the
still
moment.
have a prime minister, Barry Dodds.
Barry Dodds' story. So if I can remember it, what happened was it starts at 6 p.m. So he thought, okay, that's not too bad. That people won't be too drunk. But they'd all met at 9. These doctors.
In the morning.
9 a.m.
Fuck me.
They'd met in the centre of the country. It was Birmingham or something. And the person off stage said to Barry before he went on to host, he said, now they're rowdy. They've been on it all day. But there's a man on the front table. If they're a bit rowdy, appeal to him because he'll get them to shut up and listen. And then when Barry went out, the man that he was meant to have as his ally was naked and painted green and was
I hate when that happens.
was unconscious. And so that was his like, okay. So didn't have a second person to talk to. So it was all kicking off. He tried to talk to them for a bit. He tried to do some material and stuff, and they were just not listening. It was just a big party.
Yeah.
And then he brings on the first act, and he's about to introduce her, and he's like, if she doesn't come on, I won't be surprised.
Yeah.
And then she came on, and she was meant to do 20 minutes, and she did 10. But in the 10, one of the things that she resorted to was going, trying to figure out which table could scream the loudest.
Oh.
And then they cancelled the rest of the gig.
Fucking hell.
But I just love that it's like a naked painted, a man painted.
That's the guy you want to chat to. His cock out.
He's
He'll
gonna look
sort 'em
after you. You want anything else, sister?
Oh man. Have you ever done any gigs for the army?
No.
Have you ever done one?
I've done a few, yeah.
I only did
the RAF.
I did one lot for maybe two, but basically I once went to Cyprus to do them gigs that are like decompression gigs, which is like I remember just being a naive young comedian and being like, oh, I'm going to go to Cyprus, and then I had no idea what it was. I don't know anything about the army. So the decompression is where they fly them out. So they've just done their tour of fucking Afghanistan, and they've seen some just shit, and they're not allowed to just fly straight into London and go home because they might just be still. So what they need is 1 day in Cyprus where they
watch you die.
Another death.
Makes them feel better.
but they.
Another death.
But it's such a weird thing. They fly him in the morning. They get him off the plane. They take him to the beach. They all go on like a banana boat and have a bit of sunshine. And then they go back to the base and they play some games. And then they are allowed 4 beers. And they get a comedy show. And then they have a bit of a laugh in the evening. And music. And it's meant to just take the edge off Afghanistan.
Wow.
So I got invited to do these gigs. And I was like, fuck, all right. And I was like, I've heard they could be quite tough. But I was actually quite lucky. The ones I did weren't that tough, but I remember just getting. Do you know when you ask like sort of how's the gig normally to like the sort of promoter or the organizer, and what you want to hear is, oh, it's great, man. It's lovely last week, whatever. The guy said to me, oh, they were tough last week. Hopefully they're a bit better tonight. And I was like, what happened? Apparently, he told me the week before during Barry Castagnola's set. The whole room got their cocks out and chased him. I was like, mate, don't tell me that before I'm about to go on, man. It was like a game they all came up with, get your cock out and chase Barry. Basically, and I think the joke they were doing was they were going to bum him.
Wow.
Oh,
So
God.
imagine that's when you house the gig. Got bummed on stage.
I wish it was Sway.
Yeah. Oh, man. But it was not, that's not what you want. I never did it. I never did it again because I was like, I just never felt comfortable.
Was the gig okay for you?
It was all right, but it was like,
No bumming.
got away with it. Yeah.
Just 3 or 4 cocks out.
A few cocks out.
Just yours.
I love that. It's that thing. It must be this. That the army just makes people do.
I think it's
Yeah.
groups
fucks
of
your head
guys
up.
together.
It's got to do it.
When you've gone through that, what they go through, it just it messes your head up, innit? They're just fucking. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's not for me. I don't think.
When you were saying about asking people what happened last week, I was like, oh, I've got a story about this. But then your one was so much better
It's
because
absolutely fine.
everybody had their
Bring
cock
it.
out. My one was not that good, but it was the Buzz Bingo gigs. Have you heard about them?
I have heard.
But they are good now because somebody else has taken over. Jim Howarth.
Oh, I heard that they're good now because they don't exist anymore.
No, Jim Howarth is. I did an RAF gig for him. Every
Yeah.
gig I've done for him has been.
He knows how
excellent.
to run a gig. Does
Yeah.
Oh, Jim.
Right.
But yeah, I did like about 2 or 3 of those.
I did
You
one.
the one you told me about was funny. Have you done it?
I done one, yeah.
Where did you do it?
Birmingham,
Right.
not central Birmingham.
Yeah. So for listeners, basically, just recently there's a space. There's a series of gigs running in bingo halls. I know the one in Tootings. It's a famous. Bingo
I did that
hall,
one. Yeah, I've got.
Which
yeah.
is I grew up around the corner from it, so I know it well.
Oh, I read Alexis Dubus's status about the Tooting one where
Oh,
it
what?
was like eerie because it was just staring. They stared and
Oh.
you weren't at the same one.
But you did Birmingham, and
It was like a hall for about 1,000 people.
yeah,
There's 17.
There was about 17
Yeah,
people
yeah.
there. It started at 11 p.m. or something.
insane.
It was
11?
so
So
well.
they have to get the bingo out of the way first.
And then nobody wanted to come to the comedy, so the staff go around giving wristbands, going, "Please stay,
Yeah.
please stay and have a drink and watch this comedy for free." So they're not invested in the show at all. They don't really want to be there, but they just want some extra booze. And one of the staff members said, "Oh yeah, last week wasn't very good. There was a lady on, and she said that she was going to garrote the one of our staff members with the mic cable."
Grot.
Garrote.
like choke them.
Choke.
Oh.
Thought you'd know that word.
But they weren't. The person was obviously just joking
It's
because
on my charge sheet.
hey,
I said he should know the word garrote,
Oh, right.
alluding
I've
to the
never-
fact he's into some creepy stuff.
I've never heard of
And he said it's on
garrote.
his charge sheet. It was actually, it's
It's a
quite.
rape joke.
It was,
bit of fun.
is that what it was? I thought it was.
Voluntary garroting.
I thought it was. I
Yeah.
just thought it was like.
No,
anyway, I
charge
thought it
sheet
was
is when
him
you've been
being,
arrested.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
We're mute.
I thought it was
It's
like
always
service
good.
to
It's always
offer.
good when you have
Should
to
I
really
edit that point
explain
out?
a joke. Hi guys, I'm just going to break this one down for you. Right, can you bring up on the formula of jokes? No.
Unpack this.
So, who was the person who threatened to garrote someone?
I don't remember.
I'm trying to think who that would be.
But they said it in a joking way. So basically, the lights were flashing
Yeah.
as they shouldn't
Yes.
in a comedy show.
It does affect the vibe.
And so she was, yeah. So she
Strobe
said,
lighting.
strobe. So she goes, if you don't get this sorted out, I'm going to strangle you with this cable. She's saying it to lighten
Course.
the fact that everything's gone wrong.
This
But
was an act. Okay.
during the show, but the staff had gone, well, we received a threat of violence and kind of took it at face value.
Who was it?
I don't remember.
Oh.
But then she pulled all her subsequent Buzz Bingo gigs after that night because
Right.
it was so unfun. And then when I did it, there was 17 people there.
Ugh.
And they were actually fine, but because they're in a hall of that fits 1,000 and they're quite far away, it never feels like a good gig.
Yeah.
But there's somebody filming, and
What?
again, you're like, it's going all right, but if you put this anywhere, it looks like a terrible gig.
Yeah, of
It
course.
looks like I'm not succeeding at life.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, what are you doing there? Are you filming, or is it a photo? And then he was like, I'm waiting for the porno.
Oh.
And then he said something, stikoi vakoi. And I was just like,
Fuck.
at this point, I can leave the stage because he's filming and making
Yeah.
out like he thinks I'm about to take my clothes off. But the others were nice. So I had 5 minutes left. So I thought I don't want to risk not getting paid for this abomination.
Yeah.
So I stayed on. But I pulled all my subsequent ones.
Yeah. It's about like,
I feel like everyone did one and went, nope.
it feels like about once
Two,
every
mate.
5. Julian's a resident headliner of all of them.
I'm trying to get more dates. I weirdly enjoyed like the craziness of it, like massive room, 12 people starting late. The compere was steaming drunk, slurring.
I love it.
It was just something sort of like weird about it.
Yeah,
It reminded me
yeah.
when I was new and you turn up to a room.
Yeah.
It was a bit kind of
Yeah.
Wild West, isn't it? Like, you don't know what you're going to
Yeah.
get.
Oh, and ours started at I think 9:30 or 10, but the middle act and the headliner didn't. There was something to do with traffic, and so there was over an hour break
Oh,
during the show.
God. That's rough.
17 people.
Oh, God.
4-day break to the
Yeah. So, like, it seems to be like once every 5 years, there's a new chain of gigs in some places they shouldn't be. Like, do you remember there was loads of cinema gigs about 5 or 6 years ago?
Yeah,
Is there-
showcase.
Well, there was the showcase ones.
I used
yeah.
to quite weirdly like
The Coventry one was manageable. Some of the others were fucked.
Coventry.
But even the Coventry one did the best with what it
It
had.
started to get good towards the end.
But like, it always felt like, the
Too
room
big.
was too
Now those
soft.
big 5-pint
Yeah,
glasses.
there were 2 pint glasses. I remember it.
Fucking
Big 2 pint of
giant
lager. And it felt just off. It was weird.
Money laundering, I reckon that is.
It could
These
be.
weird gigs. Yeah.
Have you ever? It's like when you do them. Have you ever done a gig for like some comic? Like it will just say to you, "Hey mate, a mate of mine's organising a gig. Are you up for it?" It's just in like a sort of weird little venue, and the money's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting like the budget is sort of, and you get there and it's like a room that could seat about 9 people. And you're like, how is this happening? There must be a reason behind
Yeah.
this that is not
It's like
legit.
a corporate-y thing, is it?
Yeah, but it doesn't make any sense financially. Like,
Yeah, I've
what
watched
if
those up.
they could have set
It's loads of
fire to
pimps and
1,500
drug yeah.
like,
I did one in a casino just before lockdown, just before the first lockdown.
Where? What
In
casino?
Brighton.
Oh yeah.
And again, it was one of these, you arrive and they're like, oh, last time they told us we did it wrong. And it's like, oh, so did you change stuff? No. And it should have been happening in a little tiny side room. They had plenty of
We're gonna
side
do
rooms.
it wrong again.
Yeah, we're just going to continue until... the sound man had one ear.
Literally one physical ear, not one
I mean,
working ear.
I mean, that's not his fault.
That's not... No. Cut that bit out. That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant.
I'm pulling all the gigs.
I think it's
Work
quite
we know.
relevant. If you're a sound man and you've only got one ear, it's going to affect your job.
No,
What
hang
a job
on.
to go into.
Can I just say, that bit of your ear isn't doing the heavy lifting of the
yeah.
sound. It's the whole
Oh, I
bit.
thought you meant like it was
Why have we
sealed
got-
off.
why have we
Was it
got-
sealed off? That's what we're asking.
Was it plugged?
I think yeah.
Oh, it was sealed. It's
Yeah,
covered
I
over.
think so.
Right,
But
okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pulling the gig.
Ain't doing that with no freaky
I don't
face.
mind if he's got the bit of the
Bartender
ear
with
off,
no arms.
but if it's covered over, I'm not doing it. That's what I asked.
But if that doesn't affect the sound, then why do we need these peer
The
parts?
flat. That is actually a question I don't know. Can we?
Any
You don't have to bring it
doctors
up yet.
Yeah.
but
Why
can
do
you
we? Why do
Google
we need the flappy?
Why do we
ear
need the
bits?
flappy ear bits?
They're fucking weird, aren't they?
It must be just a evolutionary thing. They're left over, and they'll probably
I
go
thought
at some
it was-
Yeah,
point.
but the flap on your ear is like
Reflects the
like
sounds.
yeah, it just catches it all. It's like doing that, isn't
It's
it?
called a pinner. Yeah.
Pinner,
How
yeah.
did you know that? Did you know that? Did someone know that?
pinner. Yeah,
What?
Did you really know it's
I did
called
know.
a pinner?
Yeah.
Oh, it acts as a sound gatherer.
Yeah.
You're a doctor.
I've got ear issues, so I'm
Oh.
yeah. I've only got one ear.
Which is why you had an issue with that guy.
Well, if you took them off, you had no ears.
Well, you got fake ones and they were left inside the headphones. You're like, oh shit, sorry guys. What are your ear issues?
I've only got one eardrum.
And what from birth?
Nope, from when I was about 15.
You
What
sold
happened?
it.
Have we discussed this before? What happened? Sold it. What was was it an accident? Was it an illness?
No, I used to swim a lot.
Yeah,
Swim
yeah,
underwater,
yeah,
get a lot
yeah.
of water in my ear, and then I'd get ear infections, and then and then one day I was like, oh, it's so itchy, and I had a good old
You
scritchy
pull a
scratch
little
around,
drum out.
and then there was something on my finger that I was like,
Oh,
weird.
what was
And
it?
then I couldn't hear anymore.
And it was your eardrum.
I think so, yeah.
Oh my god!
I mean, you went to a doctor.
Yeah.
I thought I'd allow it.
Just guessed it was an eardrum and threw it in the bin.
but also, I had a grommet when I was younger as well. Where they put
yeah.
a little thing, and so that could have been part of the problem because
What a horrible word to call
Yeah.
that. Leave it out.
yeah,
Was that what Wallace was?
That's what I was thinking. It was
just?
Wallace
Yeah.
and Gromit named after grommets.
Probably.
or the other way around. We don't know.
True.
Yeah.
So have
Are
you?
you deaf in one ear?
Yeah,
Oh.
What?
that's why I'm a bit like, should I? Shouldn't I?
Wear the headphones.
Wear the headphones. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But what about? Have you ever had any sort of artificial one? Have you looked at getting an artificial one? Could it work? What's the science saying?
I'll
Get a
tell you.
hearing aid.
I could get one installed in a
A
eardrum
trans one?
transplant.
Oh.
But what they have to do is slice
Your head.
slice your head, and then they flap the whole of your ear
Oh.
No,
onto
I'm
onto
all right,
the face.
mate.
Yeah, and then they take a little bit of membrane from your jaw and use that as a little
The
drum.
vibraty bone. Thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mhm. And then they
too
flap it
much.
back, so
It's
it
too
sew
much,
your head
isn't
back
it?
together.
But I know somebody who's got one of them. Is it cochlear ones?
Oh,
You know the
right,
ones
yeah.
that sort of it looks like you've got a little sticker stuck to the
Node.
back of your head.
Yeah.
And it goes because she was like sort of not profoundly deaf, but she was pretty deaf. Pretty deaf is the other technical term I've just come up with. But she's got the one now it's basically got Bluetooth, right? So she's got it in her. So it means she can hear now. Well, if she's got a cochlear thing on, but she can get her phone Bluetooth music from it into her head.
Oh my god.
So she's listening to music. She's got no
Don't
headphones
even
on.
need AirPods.
No. She's
Imagine
got,
if there's like a setting where you can make
maybe.
anyone who's talking to you sing in like auto tune.
That'd be awkward. You know when you accidentally have porn playing in it. So it's just actually playing in
you
your
accidentally
headphones.
connect to hers. You're listening to some grot. But she, so she could. She works and she can sit at work listening to music, and no one knows she listens to music.
Nice.
She looks like she's just tick, 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 and she's got like
Just bapping away.
Yeah, how cool is that? That's the
crazy.
future
Cool,
of them, I
yeah.
suppose, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah.
But she can
So-
do it with any. Yeah, so she can stream like what she's watching, so she can hear it 100% clear.
Wow.
Does it
Amazing.
affect your balance?
No.
Oh, did it at first?
No.
Oh,
Um,
fair enough.
what was the? Was it? I mean, it's
Fine.
that's a big life change to suddenly have that happen.
I can't believe you picked it out.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yes,
gross.
I mean,
That
that
is-
is quite
that
a
is-
crucial
yeah.
part, actually.
It's like with your finger.
Yeah.
But it must have come out loose.
Yeah.
And then you just sort of.
Yeah, there was something rattling around.
Oh man.
I love things to do with my ears.
You love earbuds and
yeah,
sticking stuff in there, don't you?
Itching my ear.
Oh, I can't.
Watch
I'm
out,
like,
mate. You'll pop yours out at some point.
know.
Keep doing that. But it was it, and not to get serious, but it must have been quite a shock to suddenly be deaf in one ear. What's the transition to feeling like just used to it?
Funnily enough, I had shit hearing before that.
Okay.
So it wasn't. I
A
was
bit,
just
yeah.
like, and then when I went to the doctor and they were like, you haven't got an eardrum, I was like, oh, that's probably what that thing was. But I didn't. But it wasn't like a. I can't hear it. It was like
Yeah.
oh, I'm even deafer than usual. But it wasn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
So
I went. And this is a terrible indictment on my lifestyle at that period. But I had a Edinburgh in 2013. Where I just literally had just come out of a marriage a few months before. I was drinking
Your
a
man.
lot and I was doing a lot of drugs. I was really in a bit of a, I was all over the shop.
Spiral.
And I had such a big Edinburgh, like I got fucked for a whole month, properly, like full on, that I went deaf at the end of it. For about a week.
Oh my god.
I like literally just somehow I was so run down. I must have got some ear infection or something, and like my whole body when I got back to like sort of London and went into like detox, just shut down. Like yeah, and I went about I reckon about 80% deaf. One ear went totally, and the other ear I could just about hear. And I went to do a gig, and it was the most disorientating thing. To not be able to hear an audience laugh is so.
normal.
I knew you were going to say that. But like, you could just hear that very muffled, like sort of. The noise was like it was like being underwater, and I found it really.
Yeah, it's like after you've been at a
disorientating.
music gig or something, and you're everything, but
It was really bad.
And it healed itself, did it?
It was just luckily it was just an
Have to yank
infection.
your drum out.
Yeah, it was horrible. But that was just that. But for me, it went from full hearing to that, and I was like,
that's pretty scary.
yeah, it was quite scary actually. But you know, not nowadays. I'm much healthier these days.
I had a root canal yesterday.
That is
No way.
Have you had root canal?
No, but I've heard it's horrible.
It's not as bad as people make out. Remember, I did it a few months ago.
Worse, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It is weird because like they have to. The drill they use for root canal is much more extreme looking.
I didn't want to look at it.
But you can. Did you not look at the piece? Because you know normal drill. Sorry, you hate dentists.
I hate dentists. I went the other day, but I didn't have any.
I don't mind. I
Tell
quite enjoy dentists weirdly, and a sort of masochistic.
I used to be, because I didn't have a filling until I was in my 20s, and I used to be, why are people scared of dentists? You just go in, they check them, go call, and then you go.
Yeah.
What's the phobia?
But
then
I've
I went
only-
to have a filling once, I was like, oh, okay, they're
don't
drilling into
mind
your
it.
fucking skull.
But you're all numbed up.
Burning smell.
Yeah, but you've got what's it called?
Anaesthetic, but even that's
Anaesthetic.
horrible because they like drag the needle through your gums.
I know, but I don't mind that feeling. I
hate
can
They
live with
don't
that.
fuck around when they tell you they're gonna, the injection in the roof of your mouth.
Yeah.
It really hurts. She was like, this really hurts.
Oh.
Like, not when you're a kid, they're like, just a sharp scratch.
Yeah.
They're just like, this is gonna hurt a bit.
I got a what's it called? I said it in the Patreon thing. It was my 40th birthday yesterday.
Happy Boxing Birthday.
Thank you. And I got a what's the foot thing I got?
A pedicure.
Pedicure. I'd never had a pedicure, and I said it to my wife recently. I was like, I've never had a pedicure, and she then booked me one for my birthday, thinking it'd be like I had a nice sort of day of like spa,
nice.
pedicure, theatre. I had a real like sort of 40-year-old's day out, but she did my nails, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
But one of them, she was really digging the cuticle out, and she just hit a corner of it. And I properly went like that, and she was like, "Oops, sorry," and I didn't care, but it was fine. But it was an instant sharp pain,
Yeah.
right in like it was like in the corner there, but in your foot. And fuck man, it was proper. She was digging it like all out with these like proper crazy clippers, and she just caught a bit of skin.
Oh
that was just
God.
like,
Got an artery.
Yeah.
Um,
But-
I mean,
Have you ever had one
sorry
of
ain't
them?
good enough, is it?
I
if it
haven't,
hurts?
but
It's
I've-
very pleasant apart from that moment of
I've been
absolute
thinking
agony.
about getting a pedicure and a manicure.
Give it a go. Yeah.
If it's at all painful, because it's like with the hygienist at the dentist.
I love the hygiene.
People love it. I hate it.
Right.
I've only had it done for the very first time 6 months.
My wife
3 months
hates
ago.
it as well.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. It feels like they're properly getting in
No.
there.
What,
I
they're
hate it.
cleaning your teeth?
They're waterboarding you with your own blood.
Yeah.
That's how I find it.
You
and
come out of
painful.
it, your gums are all raw.
Raw.
Your teeth feel
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, man. I love it. I get it done every few months, like about every 4 months.
And they try and pull one by one. They try and pull your teeth out at the end. They're like, are they all definitely stuck in there?
Yeah.
Hated it.
And they'll always tell you what you're doing is wrong.
Yeah.
Like no matter you
That's
could spend
'cause it's
you could
their job,
you could
isn't
spend 4 months flossing 25
I
times a
know.
day,
Yeah.
and they'll be like, you need to floss more often. You're like,
I thought the
"Fuck you,
dentist
man."
would compliment me.
Yeah.
Because I I was flossing every day up until it.
Yeah.
And he was like overreacting.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
chill out.
Yeah.
You've seen worse teeth than
Who are you,
mine.
Shane McGowan, mate? Set your fucking choppers out.
Like, it's only because I needed a root canal at the front tooth, and he
Yeah.
was like, but he was actually like never seen something. Like that. I said to him, "Have you done this before?" And he got like, me and him he had the hump a little bit.
Right.
I'd left him and went to a new one.
I've got a mate
Fucking
who
lemon, this guy, man. Yeah.
I've got a mate who was training to be a dentist, and she dentisted me while she was training, so I got like hundreds of pounds worth of free fillings.
Yeah.
Oh, handy.
So I've got like 4 fillings by her for no money, which I think would have been like.
You can get that. I used to go to the St Thomas's medical school and get all my stuff done about 10 years ago.
Oh,
They
cool.
did loads of work for me for free.
Did you find that they were noticeably trainee?
Well, no, because they don't start doing
An
in the
11-year-old.
mouth stuff like until in the mouth stuff. Up until that point, it's all in the bum stuff. No, but it was like 3rd years, so they've done 2 years of full-on hardcore shit. So
They won't be allowed near a mouth on their first day.
No,
Well,
no.
My mate was quite far along her course, but she
Yeah.
accidentally glued 2 of my teeth together.
Did you not want that? No. Just for cosmetic reasons.
Was
She
it
had
an
to-
upper and lower? So you're just
After that corporate gig, can you glue my mouth?
But what do you mean? Because they are all essentially stuck together.
Well,
Apart-
but you know how you can floss between
Yeah,
the
yeah.
back ones, so sort of halfway back.
Oh, not an up and down one.
no,
then.
no,
Okay.
just next to each other, which
What?
meant that you would never be able to floss down
But
between
what
them.
them
did she put-
cartoon
Why did she
teeth.
put glue there?
It was to do with
And did she fail the course after this?
no, but the professor had to step in. She had to come in and shine a light on it or something to
Yeah,
melt what was in my mouth. And
So
start
wasn't
again.
it your house then?
Oh no.
I pictured it in you're in a
back
spare
alley.
bedroom or something.
No, it was in a hospital, Bartholomew's. And they had to like shine a light, melt the thing, and then they have this like super floss, which is rigid, and then you post it through, and then you can pull it out. It's like,
I've done, yes. Yeah, I use Superfloss because I've got a bridge that I have to put it over.
oh right.
Yeah.
But it's like, so I had a glue bridge by
Right.
mistake.
Okay.
And so the professor thought that she would be able to just floss the glue away
Yeah.
because it was only just recently put there. And she puts, so the super floss goes through, she gets hold of both ends and just starts pulling. And I can hear my jaw creaking. And I was like, and then she had a go at me for
React?
cringing about it. And
No.
it's like, mate, like,
She can't have a go at you.
no.
I've
But
lost
I
an
think-
ear. Didn't even fucking flinch.
I once was getting the injections. I was having some work done at the back of my mouth, and they did a bunch of injections, and then they started work, and I could feel it. And I went, look, I said, I can really feel that. I don't think the injections have worked or something. And she went, oh, we'll do some more. And then she did, and the last one she went to inject, and she hit the nerve with the needle. And I didn't know that was a thing that could happen. And because it literally was like she'd stuck it into my spine. The pain went like, it was like being hit by lightning. My whole body like sort of like went into like, because like it hit a nerve.
Oh, mate.
my God.
And it was,
Fucking hell.
again, that was like that was probably the most, in the moment, the most painful thing that's ever happened to me.
Wow.
But it was instant and it was
Yeah.
gone.
That's
And I was just in like shock.
I
but,
got to finish my root canal next week. That's gonna like be in my head.
but no, this was like she had to put so much in to get it numb for some reason.
She
I've
was
never
like,
had it
this will
before.
shut him up.
But
Just to get him on the nerve.
That one, yeah, it's funny when they do the roof one. That's always
You
a bit
should
more
be able to
sensitive.
sue them.
No, because it didn't cause any damage. It was just pain.
I mean, pain's mental damage.
Yeah, but I was fine about it. Apart from the fact I'm still talking about it about 15 years later.
And waking up at night.
Sweating. We've got to wrap it up in a minute. It's bloody flown by.
Yes.
Yeah. Any other business? So is Boris Johnson still Prime Minister? Can we
I'll
just check?
refresh the thing.
And has Prince Andrew been arrested?
Prince Andrew has lost all of
He's
his.
lost it all. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And did you see the letter that, like, literally, it's like the royal family have
Yeah.
issued a letter saying he's no longer one of us, essentially.
Yeah.
Fucking imagine
He's
getting...
had to sell his Swiss ski lodge, hasn't he?
Oh, poor
he?
guy.
I know.
Poor
To
fucker,
pay
man.
for they're offering her 10 mil, but she wants more than money. She wants like an apology.
She wants him to
or-
say, I did it.
I did it.
I would take the 10 mil.
Yeah, I'd take the 10 mil.
And still
I'd
say,
sleep
but I'd
with
still
him
say,
for
yeah,
the
he
10 mil.
definitely did it to me.
Yeah.
So you make sure they never ever
Well, by the
can
fact
get
that-
over the character. Sort of their character is now no longer worthwhile,
think-
but still get
to
10
be honest,
million
I think
quid.
he's pretty much there now.
Oh yeah, he's not going to come back from this. He's not going to
Yeah,
go
he's
into
not
the
gonna go
jungle,
for-
is he? It'll be like everyone's like, oh, he's all right,
Princess
isn't he?
number
Children
one.
books or something.
He's actually all right when I saw him eating that kangaroo.
So what
stick.
did he do exactly? Slept with her, and it's below legal age in
Yeah,
America.
yeah. And it looks like it was part of that sort
So
of
he could go to
Epstein,
prison.
like series of like he was almost flying in to get off of young women. And,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
going to his island and banging like 16, 17-year-olds.
Yeah.
Fucking gross, man.
He's a fucking royal family as well.
I know.
Makes it worse.
Yeah. But,
Good guy though, apart from.
top geezer, mate.
Should we do the national anthem? Should have a minute silence.
Do you
for
know
him.
it? I only know the first line from watching footballers
What's the
sing
first
it.
line?
God save our gracious queen.
The-
I don't know.
Long live our glorious queen.
Is that it?
All hail the queen.
What happens when she?
don't
what
know.
happens? All
All
hail
hail.
the queen.
Does it have the word hail in it?
No.
Oh, that's the Hitler thing,
What
isn't it?
happens? I was talking about this. I did Dame Baptiste's podcast, and we were talking about the royals, and we couldn't work out what happens when she dies. Like,
That's the king.
Do we get a
Charles,
new?
doesn't it?
Charlie.
But so we have to start
Get
singing "God
Charlie.
Save Our
King.
Gracious King."
Yeah.
Sounds shit, doesn't it?
It
But
does,
then-
doesn't it?
But then if Charles just passes it on to William,
Yeah.
then isn't Kate going to be queen? How does that work? That one of them is a queen,
Well,
one of them doesn't get.
I
Like, why was
reckon-
Prince Philip not a king?
Because he wasn't born into it. I think.
Yeah, and
he
she
married
wasn't. So
Kate.
she won't be a queen.
Oh, I thought I saw something the
That
other day that was
blue
like
blood,
she's getting
innit?
ready for being queen.
Oh, they might give it to her as a little token of
Yeah, for lols.
thanks. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. None of us
Dunno.
really know. It should
Yeah.
just they shouldn't really.
We need Paul
exist.
Worrell Simpson or whatever that guy is.
Oh, what, Diana's butler?
Yeah,
That fucking
that dickhead.
weirdo.
Rosy cheek cheese ball.
I saw him. I was watching Celebrity Coach Trip on Netflix, which
Yeah.
is
He's
the
on that,
best.
is he?
Yeah,
Fucking hell.
instantly got booted. Obviously.
Fucking hell.
Anyway, on that
Yeah.
bombshell,
Sorry.
should we wrap it up? Thank you, Jenny Collier, for joining us again in real life this time,
Thanks for
rather
having
than
me.
Zoom. People can find you online. You are on social media,
I am Jen Collier on all the platforms.
all the platforms.
TikTok even.
Are you on TikTok now? I'm just about to delete it again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm done. I downloaded it for December, thinking I'd put some videos, and then I just hate it. I don't even. I open it and I don't like this place.
Oh,
So I'm just
yeah.
deleting it.
It's quite aggressive. I put a clip up, and the joke I did got stolen over the years, and I got to start getting accused of like he nicked that from Twitter, mate. He nicked that. It's like,
No.
It's annoying.
I find it's a bit too much for me.
Yeah, it's
I
a
don't
lot.
like that sort of level of constant stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like
it's full on.
I like to be in control of what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel like you've got any.
Follow me
say.
on TikTok, Julian Deane.
But yeah, do
comedian.
follow the TVI clips on
Yeah,
on
yeah.
TikTok. But so you're on there now,
Mm-hmm.
putting up. What are you doing? You doing stand-up videos, or are you doing other stuff?
I'm very new to it, so I've just been.
Are you going to start doing the dances? That's what I'm saying. The dance trends.
What are you putting up stand up on?
Do you know
there?
what I might start doing is animating my sleep talking.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
I won't animate it personally, but I'll get someone else to do it.
Do you record yourself regularly, sleep
yeah,
talking?
yeah.
That's really fun. You should start releasing
It's
it
pretty
as
funny.
a podcast.
yeah.
Is there anything insightful that you say that?
I once said, let's just do one more, and then if it gets too disgusting, go back to bed.
That was you talking to the producer. We'll do one more take of this, man. That sounds interesting.
What
That's
were you
cool.
talking about? You don't know.
God knows. And I sometimes sing.
Amazing.
Mm.
Oh, that's well. Yeah, that'd be really. Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
do
It makes
that.
it really entertains me. So
I mean, the idea. It entertains
How
me.
do you
I feel like a
record
sort of
it?
suddenly I feel like a producer. Like we could do something with that.
Yeah,
But,
we get
um,
Tello in here.
Yeah.
sleep app. So it
And
starts.
only records sound.
it only records
Oh,
when. So when you start talking, it starts recording it.
Amazing.
And it also records snoring. And sometimes it's just like really standard, like breathing.
Yeah.
And then other times it's like so piggy.
Yeah. Fuck. Right. Well, look out for that if it does come up. Thanks
Thank
for joining
you.
us. Thanks to all our listeners. Thanks to all our patrons.
Thanks to our new patrons. We
Yeah,
did a
yeah.
catch up. Was it Sunday? It was fun.
Sunday, it was really
a
fun.
get together rather.
Yeah. We'll do another one. We'll let
Do
you know
another
when
one
it's
soon,
happening.
guys.
That's it.
That's it, mate.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
See you
Mooch.
again
Thanks.
soon, Jenny.
Thanks, Vauxhall
Um,
Podcast Studio.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mooch.
Thanks,
for
guys.
bringing all that stuff up on the screen.
Boris is still in.
Boris is still
Ah.
in.
Yeah.
Okay, they're breaking news.
Breaking news.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.